You know that feeling when your phone lights up and instead of curiosity, there's a small wave of tension in your chest? Not because anything bad happened, just the notification, the stack of messages, the sense that something is happening somewhere and you're already behind. Other people seem to thrive in that space. They jump in, send memes, reply instantly, keep 5 conversations moving at once. And if you don't respond, you can almost feel the silent question forming around you. Are you distant? Aloof? Not interested? It's subtle, but it lingers. The quiet assumption that something about you is off. Because apparently this is normal now. Constant chatter, shared threads, a digital room that never really closes. And if you don't love it, you're the difficult one. But there's more going on here than people realize. Some people genuinely hate group chats, not in a dramatic way, not because they dislike people, not because they're antisocial. They just feel drained by them, overstimulated, slightly invaded, or oddly invisible. And that reaction isn't random. Psychologically, group chats compress social dynamics into a space that never pauses. In face-to-face conversations, your nervous system gets cues. You see who's speaking, you read body language, you know when a conversation ends. There are natural rhythms. Group chats remove those boundaries. Research on cognitive load shows that the human brain can only track a limited number of social threads at once. In large conversations, especially fast-moving ones, your working memory is juggling multiple voices, tones, inside jokes, and unspoken hierarchies. Even if you're not actively replying, your brain is processing. For some nervous systems, that's stimulating. For others, it's exhausting. Neuroscience research on introversion and extroversion suggests differences in baseline arousal levels in the brain. People who are more sensitive to stimulation often experience social noise as literal neurological strain. It's not about shyness, it's about bandwidth. A group chat is a room that never goes quiet. There's no clear exit, no closing door, no decompression. And if your nervous system is wired to scan, to anticipate, to read between the lines, that constant open loop can feel like being on call 24/7. There's also something else. Group chats create micro-performances. Every message is visible to everyone. Humor becomes public. Opinions become archived. Timing matters. Silence is noticeable. Social psychologists talk about evaluation apprehension, the subtle tension people feel when they know they're being observed by multiple others at once. Even in low-stakes settings, that awareness shifts behavior. You think slightly more before speaking. You monitor yourself. Now, imagine that state stretched across days. If you grew up in environments where social harmony mattered deeply, where you had to read the room carefully, where saying the wrong thing had consequences, your brain may have learned to treat group dynamics as high-alert territory. Not dangerous, just demanding. So when a group chat lights up, your body doesn't register fun, it registers monitor. And monitoring is tiring. For others, especially those who feel energized by shared energy, group chats provide connection without the intensity of one-on-one vulnerability. There's diffusion. You don't have to carry the conversation alone. The attention isn't fixed on you. For you, that diffusion can feel like fragmentation. No depth, no closure, just constant partial engagement. And that can create a strange paradox. You might deeply value connection. You might crave meaningful conversation. You might be the person friends call when something serious happens. But put you in a 17-person thread filled with rapid-fire updates and inside jokes, and something in you shuts down. It's not disinterest, it's overload. Behavioral science points to something called context switching cost. Every time your brain shifts attention from one task to another, it burns energy. Group chats encourage micro-switching, work to chat, chat to work, scroll to reply, reply to silence. Tiny interruptions that accumulate. Some people barely feel this. Others feel it in their bones. And if you've ever muted a group chat and felt immediate relief, that's your nervous system exhaling. There's often history underneath this too.
If you were the peacemaker growing up, you may instinctively track everyone's tone in a group. If you were the outsider, group settings might still carry a faint echo of exclusion, even when you're fully included. If you were praised for being thoughtful, you may resist quick surface-level responses because they feel inauthentic. Over time, your brain adapts to what keeps you safe and grounded. For some, safety is immersion. For others, safety is clarity and one-on-one presence. Neither is superior. There isn't a healthy side here. Some people genuinely build intimacy through constant group exchange. They feel connected by the ongoing thread. It lowers loneliness. Others build intimacy through depth, not volume, through focused conversations where the signal is strong and the noise is low. Both are human strategies. The tension only appears when one is treated as the default. Here's the part most people miss. Hating group chats doesn't necessarily mean you dislike people. Sometimes it means you take social energy seriously. You may prefer intentional communication. You may need completion, a clear beginning and end. You may value conversations where everyone is fully present rather than partially multitasking. There's a quiet strength in that. But there's also a trade-off. Opting out of group chatter may mean missing spontaneous moments, shared jokes, microbonds that form in passing comments. You may sometimes feel slightly out of sync, and that can sting, because humans are wired for belonging. So you might find yourself in this strange middle ground, overwhelmed when you're in it, slightly disconnected when you're not. That doesn't mean you're difficult, it means your system is calibrated differently. And calibration is not character. The world has shifted toward constant digital proximity, but proximity isn't the same as intimacy. Some people thrive in the blur, others need focus. If you're someone who scrolls through 87 unread messages and feels your energy drop, if you've ever typed a reply and deleted it because the timing felt wrong, if you've muted threads not out of spite but out of preservation, there's nothing broken about you. Your brain is managing input. Your nervous system is protecting its equilibrium. And in a culture that often equates responsiveness with care, it's easy to forget that care can also look like depth, like listening carefully, like showing up fully, just not everywhere at once. You're not antisocial. You're selective with stimulation. You're not disengaged. You're attuned to your limits. And sometimes the people who step back from the noise are the same people who create the most meaningful conversations when it's quiet enough to hear each other. If this felt familiar, there are probably other small patterns in your life that follow the same logic, ways your nervous system has been quietly guiding you toward environments that fit. It's worth noticing them. There's more to understand about that than most people ever talk about.